So we'll just without further ado, let's get right into it. So let's just start the discussion about Ozark. So first off, wow. Just wow. I Season 2 and 3 are just so good. Like, they're amazing. If you saw my review of the first season, my previous episode, if you watched the first season and you thought that was intense, just wait until you see season 2 and 3. Like, oh my gosh. Like, oh wow. I discussed how Ozark, because of just rumblings of what was coming ahead. I didn't watch season 2 and 3 at the time of discussing season 1 last episode, but I said that Ozark might be one of the more consistent shows on Netflix, at least on Netflix, maybe of all time. Well, I mean, we'll see. It's only been 3 seasons, but I mean, even then, a lot of shows aren't consistent through 3 seasons. They've either been progressed, or they're just kind of rising and falling. So we'll see. But I mean, I'm pretty confident in saying this is one of the most consistent shows out there right now. I can't pinpoint what season's better, which season is the best. I don't have a favorite. They're all phenomenal. I'm leaning towards season 3 actually being my favorite, but I'll have to think about that a little bit more. Again, these are just kind of my season 3 reaction's a little more visceral since I just finished it last night. I stayed up so late because I wanted to get it done so I can record this today on a Monday. But yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the show. So if you thought season 1 had high stakes, I think season 2 and 3 kind of take it up a notch, especially season 3. The stakes are just, whoa, like, holy shnikes. I mean, I'm talking like dealing with, the head of the Navarro cartel, like Navarro himself, which is, it just adds a whole other element of like, this shit's fucking real. Like, shit just gets real, and it like ends up just literally being on their doorstep. I mean, it's on their doorstep in season 1, but like, you're just dealing with Dell in season 1. Granted, this is probably going to be spoilers for in season 1. So, I mean, I'm not going to really spoil anything major, any plot points, but I mean, relatively, just, I'm not going to be immensely careful. But anyway, yeah, season 2 and 3, I mean, you're introduced to some new players. Season 2 primarily, sorry, I dropped my pen. Season 2, the cartel lawyer, Helen Pierce, shows up, and I'm trying to think of the actress name, but she's really intimidating. I'm not going to lie. She's probably one of the most intimidating like woman performances I've seen in recent memory. I mean, just sort of like a villain who's a female-led like villain character in a show like this. I mean, I've never really experienced a more like intense, like, if don't fuck up around her, or you're yourself are gonna be fucked. So that was pretty crazy. And Ben, the character of Ben, added in season 3, adds a whole nother level of like, we're walking on eggshells here, because he's kind of a loose cannon character, and he's a wild card. He's the biggest wild card in the entire show, and he's a likable character, and I think the actor has to do a lot, especially at the end of the season. He has to like show off a lot of range in his acting performance, and he really brings it. And so does Helen. Helen gets taken to another tier in season 3. She's introduced in season 2, and she's still there in season 3, and she's just like, she has to do a lot. Instead of not just having this intimidating like physical and just like emotional presence in the show, she adds a little bit more vulnerability to her performance in season 3. She's given a lot more to do in season 3, and she brings it with those type of dramatic beats, other than just, I'm here to intimidate you and you better not fuck me over, or I'm gonna, fucking end you. So, and your entire family. Jason Bateman, also, I think all the actors in general bring it. I think, what's her face? The person who Julia Gardner, she plays Ruth. She's very consistent. They're all very consistent, but like certain performances, such as Laura Linney as Wendy, in season 3, is a particular standout. She's incredible. Probably one of the best dramatic performances out of an actress in a TV show. I don't really keep up with the Emmy nominations, but I know this show is award winning, and I'm pretty sure Jason Bateman has won an Emmy, but I don't know if Laura Linney has. And I think for this season, especially season 3, I think she's at least going to get nominated because whoa. And Jason Bateman as well gives an amazing performance. But yeah, all actors really bring it, and also in season 3, I think the children are a lot less annoying. Jonah was never really annoying too much, but Charlotte was really, really rough in the first 2 seasons, and she's a lot better in the third. She she kind of evolves a little bit as a character and starts, kind of really understanding the situation here. It's either you stay or, you die, basically, and that's what it is. So, yeah. But I just kind of want to discuss Bateman's performance and just how unique it is. He was born to play Marty Byrde. Like, just the way Bateman acts of, always kind of have these, deadpan looks, but, you can tell, his brain is, going, hardcore, high octane, power is, his brain power could literally power of, I don't know, your house, because, there's just a lot going on at one specific moment, and you can tell in his acting performance. He tries to be kind of deadpan and not really show too much emotion, and that's part of the character. And then when he does show emotion, and whether it's anger or sadness or whatever, it really brings that out. It really enhances his performance when he's doing something a little bit more physical or a little bit more emotional in his acting. But even in certain scenes, there's a scene between him and, a little bit of a spoiler alert, the head of the Navarro cartel, Navarro himself. Navarro asks him, Marty, what do you want? What do you want, Marty? What do you want? And just that one line has so much implications at that moment. And Bateman's performance in that particular scene was very breathtaking to me. And it really, it felt like it just sucks all the air out of my room. Not the room. It did in the actual show, but my room, I was like, holy fuck, Marty, you better really choose your words wisely, because this could go really bad real fast. And there's a lot of moments like that Bateman's performance really enhances the intensity of those sheer dialogue moments, because there's so much at stake. And just, again, with everything about the show that I said was positive about my first season review, directing, cinematography, writing, all those, intros, the cold opens of every episode, and also the ending tracks that kind of relate to what you just saw in the episode. All of them are here. They're all strong. They're all, I would think it started off really well. It started off like a high-tier show, high-tier production value in the first season, and it stays consistent throughout. I think the only things that really rise are the acting performances, and I think the writers I think do an incredible job tying everything together, having things come back from that were mentioned before, and they use, maybe a criticism from the show could be that The birds find very convenient ways on getting out of certain situations. But I would argue those convenient ways that they get out of those situations were set up previously in the series. So that's a testament to just really good writing. So, and also, especially season 2 and season 3, mainly season 3, I mean, I guess this is consistent throughout the entire show. The show does a really incredible job of not painting any bad guy or good guy. You know, there's never black or white. There's multiple shades of gray, 50 shades of gray. Okay. I'm sorry for that. Feel free to unsubscribe because I just said that. But anyway, we're going to carry on like that didn't happen. And, yeah, there are multiple multi-dimensional characters, or they have multiple layers or whatever, just like Shrek, multiple layers like an onion. And yeah, I mean, especially in season 3, like there's a lot of conflicts, especially with, again, I don't want to spoil anything, but between Marty and Wendy, and sort of type of philosophies of how to deal with this whole cartel situation. You know, do we embrace it and move along and try to, you know, build something for ourselves because of this, or do we just get out and run? And there's, I mean, you see both sides. There's a side where it's just like, you don't want to go any deeper into this, because the deeper we go, the more risk we have with losing our lives, but also you being more useful to the cartel makes you less expendable to the leader, to Navarro. So it's like, it's neither here or there. And they also, both of them have more selfish motivations to what they're doing as well, which you kind of see the bad side of both situations. And I think, again, the writers do an amazing job. And I think the actors, both Laura Linney and Patrick Bateman, Jason Bateman, not Patrick Bateman for American Psycho. Amazing film. Spoiler, you will be seeing that in my top 100. It's pretty high, though. But anyway, yeah, so it's, the writers do an amazing job. I think the guys behind the scenes are fucking incredible. Like, it's, oh yeah, by the way, I actually have physical notes this episode, which is kind of neat. I got printer ink. But yeah, I know I sing the show's praises a lot, and I just don't really have a lot of criticisms of the show. I really don't. I mean, in season 3, the whole Charlotte situation's fixed, and I think was actually turned into a positive. I think especially the relationship between Jonah and Charlotte was so relatable to me. It was so relatable, like how, you know, both of them having no control over the situation that their parents have put them through, and they bond over that, and their connection with one another and their familial bond with one another is so strong. And it reminds me so much of my relationship with my own sister. And it was just, there was a particular moment in season 3 where they're both like sitting on the trampoline together, like laying on the trampoline together, like discussing a particular day that went down, and, you know, Jonah's thinking about the bad things, but Charlotte, you know, tells him, well, think about the good things that happened today, because there were good things that happened to Jonah that day. And, you know, it was a really awesome moment, really small, you know, kind of insignificant to the story moment, but important thematically with the characters, and helping my emotional investment with the kids. And it's just like, oh, you know, I've been through this. I mean, obviously, you know, my family was never indebted to a fucking drug cartel, obviously, but I mean, we all have familial problems, and whether that's, you know, good or bad for your own familial family unit. And, you know, luckily I've been so lucky to have a family that is amazing, and I would do anything for them. And yeah, it just reminded me a lot of that, and added a lot of positivity to a lot of negativity in the show that you watch. I think maybe that would probably be my one criticism, is there's just like, it can get so intense all the time. You know, sometimes you kind of need a little bit more, some moments to just breathe a little bit, and they're there, but you know, sometimes it's like, okay, you know, it kind of takes away from the, I guess, the bingeability of the show. But I mean, again, it's not really a criticism at all. I mean, to me, nitpicking and trying not to be such a, biased asshole. But anyway, yeah, everything about the show is amazing. I would argue it's, if not the best Netflix original, it's one of the best. It's one of the most consistent shows on any platform right now. I mean, if you look at other shows on Netflix, like I said before in my season 1 review, like House of Cards, kind of falls off, especially the very last season, kind of sucked. I mean, again, it wasn't particularly the show's fault, but it is what it is. I think Orange is the New Black I never really got into it because I think the main character just sucks. Stranger Things, you kind of see a actual kind of downward trend of kind of fall off. I mean, I'm not saying the show sucks. I'm just saying the first season was so good. Second season was it kind of needed to move along faster. But I mean, the last 2 episodes of season 2 are probably the best episodes of Stranger Things. And I think the third season was good, but not great. I mean, it was a good time. But I mean, like, it just kind of does the same thing that the first 2 seasons did. So I don't know what they're going to do with the 4th season. And so, I mean, like, there's other shows on there, but I mean, I think Ozark is just consistently, it's getting better over time, and that's a sign of a really spectacular show. So yeah, if you haven't already checked out Ozark, I implore you to. I mean, it is so good, especially at a time like this where we're all cooped up in our own houses or apartments. I mean, there's nothing better to do, and I'll tell you right now, you'll get invested. And check out the first episode, you'll be hooked. Instantly, you'll be hooked. The first episode of this series is one of the best pilots I've ever seen, ever. So, also, the endings of every season are pretty fucking insane. So just be prepared to have your mind blown at the end of every season. But yeah, Ozark, check it out. It's fucking incredible.